I've been thinking about you, and
Yes.
I've been waiting to talk to you because I noticed the past few days that King Tut has been in the news. A tremendous amount of King Tut paraphernalia and memorabilia in the news. I guess because it was the 100th anniversary of the discovery of King Tut's tomb.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. You know what? A lot of contemporary folks don't understand is that the discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb.
Pardon me. I didn't mean to intimate any sort of familiarization that I could have referred to him by his nickname. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It's okay. We call him. Everybody calls him Tut. It's interesting that in the 1920s, a wave of not hysteria, but what's the word? You know, when I was a kid, there was a Davy Crockett, kind of
Fad?
We don't call it fad. I'm sorry, that's the word, fad.
Okay.
Well, when King Tut was found, there was this fad that swept the Western world. I mean, it was a craze. Everything Egyptian suddenly became very, very popular. So he caught the imagination of people, and I think it even raised a lot of interest in Egyptology, principally, his discovery.
So for those listeners that are just joining us maybe now, this might be their first occasion to tune into our podcast, I want to reintroduce my colleague, Jim Long, that he is a noted, world-renowned Egyptologist, filmmaker, novelist.
Well, thank you for that. I'm more of a filmmaker than I am an Egyptologist, but I will say that
you're also the only person that I know that really understands the music of the 60s and 70s because of your glorious past as a DJ. But as far as Egyptology is concerned,
I've had a lifelong interest in it, spurred on by seeing the Ten Commandments from Cecil B. DeMille when I was 10 years of age. And so that I finally got to Egypt a few years ago and have made 10 trips to Egypt, thanks to the graciousness of our Creator, and hope to return again when it's normal, whatever that is.
And then, of course, you have your beautiful documentary film, The Riddle of the Exodus, which actually can be seen on the Jerusalem Lights YouTube channel.
Right.
So some of the headlines that I've been seeing the past couple of days about King Tut is that there have been some new finds 100 years after unearthing the tomb. There have been some new finds, and they've been talking about new controversies, unearthing new artifacts, talking about things that have been stolen. Then there's an interest in this whole thing about how after it was discovered in 1922, word spread of a curse that was plaguing and sometimes killing all those who entered it. And that became like a whole meme in Hollywood, the whole idea of the mummy's curse and everything like that. And then here's the best headline of all in my Google feed. It says, King Tutankhamun, latest news, breaking stories, I'd comment. And you figure a guy like that, after not just 100 years, but a long time before that, he's still making headlines.
Yeah. Well, you know, my favorite recent headline is not really so recent, but it was in the last few years. Was the guy cleaning the famous King Tut's headpiece, and he broke the fake beard off. You know, the pharaohs wore fake beards.
And also, wasn't he really like a lad? He was a very young man.
He was a lad. I think he was a teenager.
Right.
But the famous King Tut mask, the death mask that was on the sarcophagus that's on display, I've seen it in the museum in Cairo. It has the fake beard, and the guy cleaning it broke it off and tried to glue it back on. That happened some years ago, and that was the controversy that I most remember of recent times. But I'm not that interested in King Tut, by the way.
Okay.
I'm really not, because to me he's sort of a little late in the Egyptian timeline for me to be interested, because he's nowhere near. He's so many centuries after the Exodus that I don't really have that much interest in him.
And this topic will gain a lot more centrality for us in our conversations as we move closer towards those Torah portions in a couple of weeks, really.